Let's return now to our coverage of the ministerial screening at the Senate earlier today. I'm joined by Senator representing Imo West, Osita Hazunaso, for more on the development. Distinguished, thank you for joining us on the news this hour. You and your colleagues confirmed 3 more ministers today. Are you impressed by these new additions and what they are bringing to the president's cabinet?
Audible, because I'm not sure I heard it clearly.
I'm asking if you are impressed by these new additions and what the new ministers are bringing on board to the president's cabinet.
Well, I'm indeed very impressed with the caliber of the 3 new ministerial nominees that were sent today, particularly as it concerns the youth. The youths are the future of this country, and President Asiwaju have done a good thing by giving us 2 youths in the real sense of youth to administer the Ministry of Youth. And the Ministry of Youth this time around is not just only youth, because they're also dealing with community engagement. And if you have proper community engagements at the grassroots, it means that government information should be disseminated to the grassroots. And that will help us to understand exactly what government is doing, and also create a form of feedback mechanism. When people are not happy or when people are happy, they can pass it on through the community liaison officers, so to say, and the ministry will hear that and pass it on to Mr. President. So I think I'm impressed with the fact that the 2 people, the man and the woman, are youths in the real sense of youth. So let them go and man the youth ministry, and let us see what they can do. So that instead of tomorrow the youth will start complaining that they have been neglected and marginalized, we will now have youths to man the youth ministry. And I'm happy that they have Minister of State as well. So we're hoping, we're very hopeful that they should succeed.
We're counting on it as well. The Senate went ahead to confirm the Kaduna State nominee, even though he slumped midway into his screening. Some say his screening could have been rescheduled. What do you make of that decision?
Well, you see, that is one of those things that we call force majeure. He never planned that he will collapse during the screening. But, you know, if you look at the CV of the nominee, he's been a secretary to state government 3 times for 9 consecutive years. He's been chief of staff to minister. He's been everything. So in terms of, and his academic records are clear, very clear. He had a master's degree from Ayodele Olawande University. He's been to Harvard. He has a first degree at Ayodele Olawande University. He served. His records are clear. And he has content. So even if we continue to screen him, he will excel. So now that this has happened, are we not going to use it against him? We said no. Let us allow him, because he has already explained himself. It was just during the time of question and answers that this issue occurred. But he has a track record of achievement. I think it was the right thing to do to allow him to go.
What then do you say to those who have raised concerns about whether he is medically fit for the tedious role he's been appointed for?
No, nobody can even say whether he's medically fit or not. What has happened to him can happen to anybody. It could be fatigue. It could be anything. So it has happened to even presidents of countries that have collapsed while talking, while even addressing a major audience. So that does not mean that he's not medically fit. If you have not slept for 2 or 3 days and you appear before an audience and you stood for 30 minutes to 1 hour, you might collapse if care is not taken. So that does not mean that his medical fitness is in question. I don't think so.
Talk to us about how the 10th Senate intends to engage these ministers moving forward to measure their performance and also keep them on their toes.
Well, you can see that the 10th Senate is being proactive. Only yesterday, we tried to tinker with the Senate rule to accommodate the new realities of President Bola Tinubu's administration. Today, we have a separate committee for youth development and community engagement. We also have another committee for sports. We also have a separate committee for state, because there's a new minister for state development and minister of state. So these are the areas we are preparing ground to make sure that we have to do proper oversight. If you lump them up into one committee, the committee will not be able to supervise them very well. So I think we are prepared to do our legislative duties very well to the extent of our ability. And I believe that Nigerians will be happy at the end of the day. You know, the system is just starting. The system is completely new. So I believe that in the next 6 months, everything would have stabilized. And it is our responsibility to do proper oversight of all the MDAs, ministries, departments, and agencies. Proper oversight. That is the only way we can get to the root of the vision of the present administration.
Senator representing Imo West Osita is on us. So thank you for sharing your thoughts with us on the news tonight.
Thank you so much. Thank you very much.